Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines. We got BRICS Coalition, the X platform, BIS, and why are they still talking about systemically important global stable coins? Well, we're going to find out. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, $1.21 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off by 1.7%. 28,800 plus for Bitcoin now, 1833 and change for Ethereum. Tether market cap is 83.8 billion plus, and we see XRP at the number 5 spot at 68 cents now, off by 2.2% on the 24-hour, almost flat on the 7-day. Take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you about Link2.com all the time. Private equity, love them as a sponsor, love being a customer. That's how it happened. But I tell you something, I don't know if you know this, I Trust Capital, the best crypto IRAs in the planet, is on this platform, and you can now get private equity in that company. And let me tell you something, there's just over 1,500 shares of that left, and it's going to be gone quick. Do not mess around. Obviously, we know Ripple, I don't even have to explain it. You know, having access to Ripple shares like this is just unbelievable. Polysigns, Cerebras, artificial intelligence. I know you guys love it. You've bought a lot of this stuff before I even get a chance to, and I tell you, I do the same too. So make sure you click the link underneath the video. Check out Link2.com. They are absolutely incredible. They are the companies. They carry the companies that are building out this new digital asset revolution, as well as the fintech revolution in general. So make sure you check all that stuff out. Great, great, great opportunities right now. This here is coin section is included in the latest development of X, ladies and gentlemen. Crypto is coming to the platform. You can see it right here. Look at that, coins. Right here. So down in this section here, we're going to end up seeing coins added for too long. How about that? Elon has made the promise. He said for over 20 years, he's had a vision from way back when they were at PayPal of introducing an intergalactic currency. Now he gets a big, big step closer to delivering a huge platform for what he says and believes will be responsible for being at least half of the global financial network if he does it right. So look, there is a big vision here with X to take it from Twitter as a social media app and integrate it with a payments app. And it is about to happen, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't be more excited to watch it. And I don't find it mutually exclusive that Elon just happens to be doing that, as we saw FedNow roll out. Just like I don't find it mutually exclusive that the judgment from Judge Torres came out 7 days before FedNow went public and actually launched, knowing Ripple is a partner to them. Here is a long list of Faster Payments Council members here, and I'm just going to peruse through these so you can see ACI, another huge Ripple partner right there. And there's multiple, BNY Mellon, you could go down this list. I'm just citing a couple. You see Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which has cited a government agency, by the way, which is a financial enforcement agency, and they have cited a couple years ago that Ripple and XRP could be used for credit unions and banks alike to help facilitate cross-border payments and settlement as well. Again, I'm just highlighting a few things you see here. JP Morgan Chase, you get it, MasterCard, and the list goes on and on. This is what we're talking about. These are the kinds of platforms, companies, banks, financial institutions that have access and will continue to gain access to the FedNow system. Again, all of this is laying out where we're headed here, just like the idea that 3 countries are set to join BRICS. And if we get into this very quickly here, I just want to show you. If you look at this, it says here, South Africa's foreign minister hints at BRICS expansion in August. BRICS summit will be held in Johannesburg, as I've said, through 22nd through the 24th. 74 countries actually will be attending, and a total of 44 countries have expressed interest in joining the nations ahead, or the coalition ahead of the summit. So that's really what we're talking about here. So, look, if this goes down, we have to be very cognizant of the idea. I mean, look, again, I just want to explain in this whole scenario here. You're looking at Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Argentina, right? Now, Saudi Arabia, again, where the elevation of the global reserve currency status of the U.S. dollar is held up from the petrodollar agreement. If they join BRICS, it will be, I don't care what anybody says, it will be a devastating blow to the power of the U.S. dollar. I'm not suggesting that it would fall away in one night. What I'm suggesting is that for the first time since the petrodollar agreement, and certainly the gold standard before that, that we would be watching the dollar in a basic free fall, because it would for the first time not have gold backing it or the elevated status of the petrodollar agreement. So there is a major paradigm shift we're staring down the barrel of. How fast it will find us, we don't yet know. Again, 40 nations now interested in joining BRICS. 74 countries will be attending the BRICS summit August 22nd to 24. Things are quickly moving to a point of no return, and that's what we need to pay attention to. Bolivia now says they want to join BRICS and will participate in the summit in South Africa along with the other 73 nations. Again, this is a very, very big deal we need to pay very close attention to, but it's not some smooth operation. China and Pakistan versus India at BRICS. And the reason that this is an issue, if you're not aware, is that India and Pakistan have had long troubles for a long, long time, right? It reminds me of the Israel-Palestine conflicts, right? There is long history of trouble between these two nations. Obviously, India does not want to see Pakistan brought into the BRICS coalition, but at the same time, India has a massive GDP. So if you come down here, China's power hunger keeps India on its knees as a communist country, has more to benefit than the BRICS nation. It says India has nothing to lose, however, if it steps out of the BRICS alliance, as its economy and GDP of $3.5 trillion remains robust. So India's got a hand to play in all of this, and we'll see which countries actually make the cut and join into the alliance. The ones that I'm focused on the most are Saudi Arabia and the UAE right now. So we'll see how that goes. And any European nations. There's always been talk about Germany joining BRICS as well. So we'll pay attention to that. Here's the other part to this. Look, this is about U.S. hegemony. That's what's going on here. And this talk from Eurasia president talking about his reset speech, saying that the conflict isn't between, and the war isn't, this isn't about war between Russia and Ukraine, but it's about hegemony. This is what he says.
From our perspective, when people talk about Russia, Ukraine, I say there is no Russia-Ukraine war at all. There is no Russia-Ukraine conflict. This is war declared by NATO on Russia. The war declared by NATO on Russia is not only for Russia, it's for dominating the whole world. It's for hegemony.
It's for hegemony. And hegemony is about dollar dominance. That's what he's talking about right there. And this is the way the rest of the world is speaking about this idea and notion. Now, yesterday, and I want you to stay with me through this, yesterday we covered a piece here, shout out to Subjective Views for this, where Novati, Ripple partner, talks about having partnerships with many of the largest, systemically most important providers in the global payment industry. Listen to this very quickly here.
This slide is one that we repeat and present fairly often, and it just demonstrates the depth of the interconnected ecosystem that Novati has built up over several years across technology, licenses, and partnerships. In my experience, that's highly unusual for a company of this size. We actually have relationships with many of the largest and systemically most important providers in the global payments industry.
And how about that? And you can see them here: Alipay, Apple Pay, Google Pay, right? It's Visa, MasterCard. They're all there, right? It's all there. So look, here's what's important about that. What's important about that is that here is Benedict Nolans from the BIS working with the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, which just so happens to be where Ripple's pilot for CBDCs and real estate tokenization and lending is taking place. And she's talking about systemically important stablecoins, global stablecoins. This is a remarkable conversation we've been having for a long time here on this channel. And here's my rule of thumb. I'm not bringing it up trying to be right about it. I'm bringing it up because they brought it up. And they're still talking about it. And they're not stopping talking about it. And the fact that she's from the BIS and she's in the region of the Hong Kong Monetary Authority Central Bank there, this brings a lot of questions to me that Ripple and XRP, or could XRP become this global stablecoin that we often hear so much talk about? Let's see if we can capture it right here.
Which is similar to the current note issuing bank model of the banks in Hong Kong. So the notes that we have in Hong Kong are actually issued by the three note issuing banks. So we could replicate that in a digital format, and the replication then takes the form actually of a stable coin, right? Where the bank issues that stable coin and it's backed with assets held in the wholesale system as a reserve with the HKMA.
With each unit of digital currency having its own individualized serial number.
Correct, yeah, exactly.
So there you have it, right? I mean, that's pretty remarkable. This lady is, like I said, the thing that I find interesting is we're talking about global stable coins, systemically important stable coins. Let me give you this from the beginning here so you catch it right.
Yeah, so we classify this as wholesale CBDC, and the trend that is out there right now is that most hubs like ourselves in Singapore and the US, for example, they are looking for the international aspect. So if you say hub, you say international, you say cross-border. People are only looking at the wholesale CBDC use case. So in sum, that means it's not so much about reception by retail, right? Because retail is not relevant to that. It's about reception by the wholesale participants, which are the banks. That's the key question really for wholesale infrastructures. For retail, I think it's a completely different ballgame. We do have a project on that as well in Hong Kong. In fact, we just released a report on that called Aurum. And that's also really, really interesting for people who are interested in at least computer science aspects of this. So that also proposes an intermediated structure where consequently all the private information remains with the banks as opposed to with the central bank. But it also has a second structure to it, which is a stablecoin structure, which is similar to the current note issuing bank model of the banks in Hong Kong. So the notes that we have in Hong Kong are actually issued by the three note issuing banks. So we could replicate that in a digital format, and the replication then takes the form actually of a stable coin, right? Where the bank issues that stable coin and it's backed with assets held in the wholesale system as a reserve with the HKMA.
With each unit.
That sounds exact. I mean, I don't know about you, but that sounds like she's describing the private ledger for central banks, right? An intermediary, which could be XRP. And it all. Why are they still? That's a recent clip, but it makes and takes me back to the Group of 30. You guys know it. Mark Carney talked about Ripple and XRP could be a global sector stablecoin. Okay, former Bank of England governor and the Group of 30 here said that. And if I go down here, if you remember, the Bank of China, they said it too. U.S. fintech company, right? Ripple Network, cross-border payments and remittances. The Ripple coin, launched by Ripple, has a tendency to become a speculative tool which threatens financial security and social stability. That's how powerful it is. To maintain the stability of Ripple, which they mean XRP, a stable exchange rate is formed by anchoring various legal currencies in reality, such as the dollar, a basket of currencies, or a combination of commodities. the currency has a stable support, preferably one-to-one reserve, and safely and liquidity of the reserve must be guaranteed, right? You know, again, what are these entities discussing here, right? Then there's the World Bank. Remember this? We covered this a couple years ago, right? We covered this. Stable coins for cross-border payments. Two digital currencies that fall into this category are RippleNet's native currency, Ripple XRP, and Stellar Network native cryptocurrency, the Stellar Lumen XLM. That's the World Bank. Now we've got the lady here from the BIS in the Hong Kong region center and monetary authority suggesting exactly the same, not even suggesting, she's talking about it. Again, sometimes you have to make the video because you know it's the right video to make. Today is one of those days. And before we get out of here, I want to leave with this. Back in January, when ChatGPT was really hitting the scene, I asked the AI, how could XRP be used as a stable coin? And the one that really sticks out to me is another way XRP could be used as a stable coin is using XRP as collateral to back a synthetic stable coin, which is pegged to the value of a fiat currency. This could be done by issuing a synthetic stable coin that is backed by a certain amount of XRP, which would be held in escrow. The synthetic stablecoin would be designed to maintain a stable value relative to the fiat currency, while the value of the underlying XRP would fluctuate. That's where we're at on this day. And it's quite interesting to me that the BIS is having a major conversation while the Fed now launches, while the systems in Europe launch, while the new payment system in UK and the Asia region launch, right? While all of this is happening and X is taking place, they're still having conversations. And what I've come to learn in my 52 years of living, if they're talking about it, there's a good damn reason for it. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. I'll catch all of you on the next one.